All right, so what's next on that?
Intro to plumbing trade.
Really, that, you, introduction to the plumbing trade.
This we just kind of give like my interpretation of this. This is only offered by St. Philip's College,
Yes.
and it looks like it's just the kind of a career overview type course. So I don't think it's really core.
No.
So that's one of those that we just leave off and we don't make any recommendation, right?
Right.
Let them make their own choice. Leave it optional. Right.
Exactly.
All right. So the next one is the plumbing maintenance and repair.
Definitely.
Okay.
That's an intro course too.
So remember, we're talking pipe fitting right now, right?
We're talking, but we're actually doing both. Because
Oh, we're going to do both then?
Yeah, if you look to the left, he's doing the plumbing and the pipe fitting. The way we did all the electricals at the same
We
time.
just run them in parallel.
We just, yeah. Wow.
Plumbing code.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to leave it at code 1, considering that the associate, in our proposed associate's weird, we're talking about a code 2. But I think we leave it plain at a code 1.
Right.
Yeah.
And let 2 be an optional.
Exactly.
Yeah, if we leave plenty of hours in there, then any program that wants to add 2 can. This is not like NEC that they're only getting half of the book.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Basic
think this is-
HVAC for plumbing / pipe.
I don't know
I
what that is.
don't think so.
I think this is a crossover
Yeah.
course.
Like
That,
MPE, mechanical,
Yeah.
plumbing, electrical. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Pipe fab, that would be under pipe fitter.
I'll let y'all pipe fitters.
Yeah, we already had the blueprint reading. I'm wondering, is there a pipe? No, I would like to make that optional because if you look lower, you see pipe fab and installation a
Okay.
little lower. That's probably the course because this is a double up on blueprints.
Agreed.
Agreed?
Right.
Okay. So we'll leave that one.
We're leaving it off or putting it as
We're
an
leaving it-
option?
Well, it's going to be an option.
Oh,
If
okay.
we leave it off, then whatever's left is an option.
Okay.
But I think there's a better program that,
Okay.
Okay, backflow, would that be plumbing?
I'll leave
That's a,
yeah.
I'll leave
You'd leave it off.
well, it's. No. Well,
well,
Oh, I'm not,
It's definitely a must.
I'm not arguing, I'm just
No,
curious.
it's definitely a must that it be taught.
so backflow has to do actually with local code requirements
Right.
too. So the question is, it depends if you're commercial, industrial, residential, where you're at, what the codes are, what the community is what the backflow rules are for that area.
Let's put it on there. I would say put it on there because obviously backflow is a big part of plumbing, period. Without plumbing, I mean, you gotta have backflow, that's code.
Right.
So I'd say go ahead and put it on there. It's something they need to know
Okay.
as a general.
Well, and we can just allocate and then we just look at how it looks.
You're right.
And if anything needs to be trimmed, we can do that.
Because I don't
Yeah.
think there's another class that's gonna cross over into backflow prevention. So it's gonna be a standalone, that's kind of its own little,
In fact, I don't know if you heard all the drama down in Corpus with the mayors and water. That was all driven by,
Backflow.
Is this a,
I'm just saying.
That's plumbing.
Yeah.
1347
Plumbing and pipe equipment and safety.
optional.
Yeah.
I think that's optional.
Yeah, it's
in
too,
there
yeah, cause it's too,
for-
it covers both and, yeah, I'd say leave it. Pipe fab and installation, is that one, Dan, that you guys had?
Yeah, and in fact, we had, you gotta have the pipe fab and installation, and then we had piping standards and materials. That way
Right.
they get foundation of what they're gonna use when
Oh.
it comes to,
Even in the 2308, you cover a lot of the safety,
Right.
going back up to the last, what we just said, so.
Right, the standards and materials.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so yeah, well, let's take 20X07.
So excited.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm on the ball.
20X08, those.
And 20X08.
Those run together.
and are these in both or just in plumbing or?
No, those are
or being
pipe.
Piping, yeah.
Yeah.
And then if we're talking on the pipe side, so you got 2307 and
2308.
Yeah.
All right, residential construction plumbing.
That's a yes.
Yes, yes, definitely. Go with residential and then when we get down to commercial, it's a must.
I don't think we should require it.
I don't either.
No.
We've got the basic. We leave it as an option and not
Right.
hog time to it.
Yeah, and I've never understood the difference between intermediate and advanced. To me, you've got basic and advanced, so
Yeah,
I'm good with leaving that as an option.
okay. What about the standards? Advanced pipe standards,
2332.
yeah.
I say option.
Right.
I feel the same way.
We teach it, but it's not a, something that, I say just leave it as an option.
Is that where we go back and we leave some of the 2000 level classes kind of in that optional bucket so that they apply regionally as appropriate?
Yeah,
Very rarely would our pipe fitters be navigating the standard. That's usually their quality or superintendent level.
yeah.
So, yeah, leave it as an
Associates-
option.
The associates, then we might start talking that way. But I say option it.
Okay. Advanced fab and installation, I'd like to see it in there.
advanced fabrication.
Yeah, I think if there's one area at the higher levels that we need to have as a requirement, they need to know how to fab and install at the highest level. So, yeah, that one for pipe. Yeah, there's a 24.
Then advanced fabrication.
Yeah, that's a 2433 blank.
Okay, thanks.
He's on a roll.
He's already in next week.
I'm already on the plane, people.
Could have embraced the Weckham.
Yes.
He studied all that.
Oh, yeah. I'm wrecking the Weckham.
Commercial construction and fixture setting. Plumbers,
Yeah,
plumber.
That's,
not us. Not
well, I think that's more the
It's plumbing.
construction trades.
Yeah, it's where you're putting your carriers in, your wall hung, lavatories, commodes, and
Do you
things
think
of that
that's
nature.
critical across all degree programs for
Yes,
plumbing?
I do.
Okay.
Residential and commercial, they need a little bit of both of them. So I would go with the 2336.
We're just
Well, that's.
We're adopting both,
Of course,
yeah.
you can adopt both of them.
Yeah, so commercial construction goes in plumbing. Jamie, is this redundant of advanced pipe fab? Should we use this instead?
That's two.
The pipe fab and installation 2 versus the advanced? Is that, because 2333 was pipe fitting advanced fab and installation, and this is just pipe fab and installation 2. So it's it should be an either or.
If you pull up
Yeah.
the WACM,
Yeah.
I bet you those core competencies look very
They have
close.
to.
Pretty close.
They have to, so,
Do we have fab and installation 1 in there?
Yes,
Then
I
in-
thought we did.
For
yeah, we
content.
did
Yeah.
fab and installation 1, so why don't we take out, I'm sorry, on line 17, instead of doing the advanced fab and installation, let's swap that for fab and installation 2, 2X41.
Okay.
Makes sense. Symmetry.
Could
You
you,
just see progression, you got 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't know, I like that.
Now, this is where we're
I like
back
the-
with
I
Gary's
like the
discussion
advanced.
about how do you clean up the WECM? Because I know when
Well-
we did all those crosswalks for DOL apprenticeships, that's what we saw, especially in welding. There was 8 classes that all said the
Same thing.
same thing.
Yeah.
We're like, oh my God, look at all these classes saying, we're gonna TIG weld. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we're gonna,
So,
Well-
let me get this straight. On our advanced piping, can you go back one page? Wherever it's at, I'm trying to remember the numbers here.
Yeah.
Can we, is it advanced piping, no, let's see where we at. Where's the 1 and 2? I got lost here. On that, is it where we can pick 2330, what is it, 20, no.
2332 is advanced pipe fitting standards. And my feeling is that 2341, which is pipe fab and installation 2, that's the advanced.
Right.
And just for symmetry, because we had the pipe fab and installation 1, then let's have pipe fab and installation 2, that's the advanced.
We're suggesting that.
2343, can we, is it in Wickham where we can pick the 2343, which is advanced pipe practices, versus Because I hate to pull that 2343 out of the equation if we can't use
Oh,
it.
we're not to 43 yet. We're
I thought that's what we just
no 33.
Yeah, but didn't we just subtract 2343 for?
No.
No.
2341.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
good. Okay, I was confused. Thank you.
No
Thank you
worries.
for clearing that up.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're good.
We're
Okay.
arguing that advanced fab and installation 2 are the same thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And this might be a question.
I just didn't want to pull
This
that
might be
out.
a question for Mike to, I guess your college is listed as teaching advanced.
Mike?
Is it San Jacinto?
Yeah, 2343, if you pull down, it says San Jac College.
Yeah. So I guess we're making the recommendation that you replace that. I mean, I guess you can still teach that if
You
we
still
don't,
teach it.
but to replace it with pipe
Go ahead.
fabrication.
Replace it with the 2.
Too, okay.
Those,
And to Dan's point, if we look these up in Weckham, they're probably going to say very much the same.
Right,
thing.
and we can,
In fact, Dwayne, keep me honest here because I didn't start out in education. So when we create this, you have the option to use it, but San Jac College, they already have a plumbing or pipe fitting degree, so it doesn't nullify it.
No.
You're still gonna, I've been using this,
Well, that's
you follow me?
That's what I've been using 2343 for 6 years.
So it's like,
And you can
this is
still
not
use it.
taking
Okay,
away,
I
it's
just
adding to.
Right.
That way Del Mar doesn't have to get a curriculum committee, put them all together, do
Okay.
all the paperwork, send it all up, wait for the, it's like, hey, here it is on the table, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
sorry, I was just trying to get them side by side.
I think the
And
2
The
gives you more
second one deals
freedom.
with alignment, which
You see what I'm saying?
tying in rotating equipment, the first one doesn't.
Or remember, you can add to, you just can't take away.
Right. Yes, like Marcia was saying, the
The one that gives you more.
fabrication and installation 2 is more flexible, I guess.
And I would agree with that, it's more flexible. See, the irony here is just about all pipes have an outlet side, and it comes from, guess what? Rotating equipment, because you're running it all with pumps.
Right.
So that's kind of assumed, they just put that in there. How are you gonna get how are you gonna get liquid through a pipe unless it's being
Gravity.
pushed with a pump? Okay, you're right, gravity, that's what, those are the plumber guys, okay? Pipes here.
pass it around, water flows downhill. What else you need to know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think we could be wrong either way. But to Dan's point, that there's assumptions, and I think that's why that advanced one was written, because somebody was like, well, we've got to actually say that.
Exactly.
But
Right.
Okay.
Because
So-
if you think on the state level, we're trying to make a foundation so everybody can use it.
Right.
They understand this, you have more latitude.
But these are the classes that have to be taught,
Minimum.
right?
Yeah, that's what we're
Now, you can
recommending.
add on to it, so like this 2343, advanced pipe practices, we're gonna have to add that class to keep, and just add, and have this as a add-on to keep teaching the 2343. It kind of puts,
In your
am I right?
program, you
Yes.
mean?
So I'm thinking, well, of course, I'm gonna think mine, I'm thinking statewide too, but if that's the case, that's gonna put pressure on to having two of these classes, because I'm not gonna give up this class here because it's built, man, it's good.
Right.
They've getting a lot of information in this class, so it's like, I'm not gonna throw it in the trash to go over here and teach this one that we're implementing. So I'm gonna have to add another class to my guys. See where I'm coming from as an instructor way? I don't want to make them pay for another class because the information that they get in here is so critical.
Jim,
versus,
I think what helped yesterday for us is once we added all the classes to the list and then they broke them out for pipe fitting or for the different levels, and then a list that looked really big and like it filled up the whole program. Then was much less
20 to
obtuse
25
for-
hours.
Yeah.
You still had.
because it's killing me, I'm looking at this, we're
Yes.
already at 30-something hours. and
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's-
No, that's two
So let's-
programs together.
Right, the pipe fitting
Once
and
we
the
break
plumbing.
them
Right,
out,
once
we'll
we
look at
break
them
them
on
out,
separate tabs.
Hopefully you won't have so much anxiety, because I
Makes me
had the
feel better.
same thing
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah,
And
makes
once
me
we
feel-
split it into the different sections, I was much more relieved.
Okay, good deal.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes me feel better.
So,
All right. moving on.
advanced pipe practices, you're using it?
I am using it.
So this is more of a plumbing application?
But we are plumbing and pipe fitting, if you remember.
I think we leave it as one of the options.
Okay.
We've got 1 and 2. We've got fab and installation 1 and 2. So if we don't go any deeper, then we're going to give each school more options.
Yeah.
Okay. So advanced pipe left as optional, residential construction plumbing too, is that critical?
Say that one more time.
We're gonna leave advanced pipe practices as optional.
Yes.
Do you want residential construction plumbing too in all programs?
No.
Okay.
We already got residential, we got a residential class already, if you go back to the line.
Yeah, we've got 1.
So
Yeah,
we
but
have.
this is two.
Yeah, we don't need, leave that as optional.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 2309 already in play.
All right. Field measuring, sketching, and layout.
That's critical for us. For pipe fitters?
Yeah.
It seems to be across the board.
They're not taking responsibility for drawing. That's always out of the engineer, but we want pipe fitters that can look at something physically in the field and think through a problem and work
Yeah.
with the engineers.
This is where we teach our backhoes. We teach. There's a lot that goes into this course. We use it more along the lines as an OSSF, on-site sewage facility, considering we're in the plumbing stage of it.
We have field sketching in-house as a required pipe fitter competency.
Yeah.
But
And
it sounds like this one in its current format is more a plumbing
plumbing, it's
than
really
it is a pipe.
Honestly, it's for surveying, shoot and grade.
No.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
this class is built on.
That's why I'm thinking we
Remember-
leave it optional
Yeah,
and then provide guidance to programs that we're working with.
yeah.
Who are not adopting the pipe fitting for NCCR.
Yeah. Who are doing it wrong in the first place, yeah.
So it's optional for the pipe fitters, is it critical for the plumbers across all programs?
Well, yeah, I just leave it option open.
For
I mean,
everybody.
I teach it, and it's a good course.
Okay.
But like I said, it's as far as industry, and major industry.
No, what I'm
this is
saying,
more-
we're already making it optional for pipe fitters, but for plumbing,
Let's make it
AA,
optional.
across the state, is it critical?
You know, we did that yesterday.
Plumbing.
With so many of the 2000s, we left so many of them optional to fit in that
Yeah.
particular region.
Let's look and see what
See what
can we
Thomas
leave
wants.
it off for now and then break these out, Dwayne, and see what the hours look like on the plumbing side now and on the fitting side, because it looks like we're done.
Sure.
And that way,
Yeah.
we got a pretty good idea and see if we're somewhere in that 20 to 25 hour range on each side.
Okay.
And just because we teach it, don't mean that everybody in the state ought to be able to have to teach that.
Right.
So,
Well, and that's why we want to leave some room.
wiggle room on it.
You know, but we also want to say, you know what, don't go clear out into left field and build this complete one-off program that's not gonna work. So
Amen.
we're gonna recommend, it looks like, 5 courses down each side? You know?
I think the outcomes in that are pretty specific, and there's a lot of schools that don't have money for surveying equipment.
Sure.
And if you push that on them, they're going to be like, oh, now we got to, so I say leave it option. we're lucky enough, we're big enough where we can do that stuff, so.
And like we said yesterday, don't panic. We have copy. I mean, I have
Oh,
made
yeah,
copies.
no,
of
you're
this.
good.
I remember, I'm good. I was freaking out yesterday.
Looks like pipes 1519.
It's too early.
So this is the plumbing.
Plumbing is 14 to 18.
So Jimmy, that's much better, right?
Much better.
And do you agree that all of those are the 5 courses?
Backflow. residential
Critical to
construction.
all AA programs.
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Okay with that.
agreed.
This is the pipe fitting.
You cannot jump up in the room.
I can, yes I can.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Just
It's close.
Nice.
And that's pipe, 15 to 19.
Right. Does that look good?
I like it.
15 and 19.
You like it?
I like it. I like it a lot.
So for the non-NCCER rubric, we're good with plumbing and pipe. Any other discussion? Great. 6 POS is dealt with.
Woo!
Awesome team. So,
Can I throw a fly in your ointment?
of
And
course.
let's look at commercial electrical again.
Okay.
Let me tell you what my thinking is first before we dig into it. I'm looking at PLCs, I'm looking at planning and estimating, and electrical systems design. I'd like to pull those down to an option,
Okay.
and let me tell you why. I'm 3/4 equipped to teach PLCs. I've got a $350,000 investment there.
Right.
It's tremendously expensive. And we're seeing that, hey, it's nice to have that PLC, on your transcript, but it's not really required in a lot of places. Same way with the system design and planning and estimating. I've got a sneaky thing in the back of my mind of making a post-degree certificate with planning, estimating, and those things in there.
Like an advanced certificate or an enhanced certificate to
Advanced
round them out.
Right. And I'd like to pull those 3 out.
I think we might have already
We
pulled them
did,
out.
I think we did
Yeah.
pull,
So take a look at what's here.
yeah.
And make
You said
sure
PLCs,
Planning
this
and
is the
estimating.
residential commercial as of yesterday.
Yeah, residential, commercial.
yeah, that's the entire residential
good.
commercial list.
We're good. I had in one of my notes that it was in there. I guess I was.
We
You
had
know
it in
what?
there, we
pulled
pulled it
late,
out.
Mike. Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't the original,
Yeah.
but then I think we already took it out of the
That's good.
final.
Okay, that brings us to, that knocks out the first 4 agenda items. Agenda item number 5 is preparation of update for the Architecture and Construction, the Advisory Committee, that this committee, both the report and recommendations back up to. I'm going to rely on Dwayne to walk us through how that timeline will work and if we need to prepare anything additional. So what do you need from us?
Okay, well, And this is where we will, and I guess it's really coming to you since,
There's no code.
right, well, I mean, it'll be you and Troy, but, so you'll be reporting to the advisory committee what we decided on today.
Okay.
And so it'll be the motions, you know, the NCCER, and then these, what is it, 6 or 7, can't remember how many we did, but.
We did 6, so,
So it'll be just recommending these 6 programs of study to the main advisory committee.
do we actually need to put, I know we've got these formats ready to go, do we need to put the NCCER half of it in a particular format for the committee to look at? Or can we just put forth a simple recommendation?
I think it'll just be a recommendation.
Okay.
And I'll, I guess, type up these minutes and send them to you and, well, to everybody, but so that you'll have something to present to the advisory committee,
Okay.
the notes of this meeting.
I know we were looking at June for that meeting, is that,
Yeah, I'm still trying, you know, it's one of the hardest things, I guess, especially in the summertime, is to get a quorum for, you know, people to meet in the middle of June. But we're looking at June 29th, and I think we're just 1 or 2 short of a quorum for that meeting. Again, this is the advisory committee, so still, you know, fingers crossed, but.
okay. So for getting the recommendation, the rest of the process, so we've got to, myself and Troy will submit these recommendations to the advisory committee. If they approve, then it goes out for public comment, then what? Does it come
Okay.
back to the committee before going to the board, or what's
Right,
that?
and we'll, so when we receive the public comments, you know, we'll look over those, we'll propose some responses and send them out to the subcommittee to see if you agree with the responses. If it looks like something very, I guess, something really critical or important that we need to consider in person, then we'll call this group back together to look at those, again, just to look at the comments for those. Well, I mean, like I said, we'll try to handle most of them by email if we can.
Okay,
But-
that would work for us, if we can do it remotely on minor issues.
Right.
Okay.
And then once all of those public comments have been addressed, then we'll, again, it goes back to the advisory committee for their final approval, and then it goes as a recommendation to the coordinating board for approval.
Okay. So we could potentially have another 6 months to 12 months to get it officially finalized, depending on,
Right, yeah, timeline is about,
okay. All right. So agenda items 6 and 7 deal with the future, I think, unless there's some serious heartburn out there about our recommendations. I think the work of this subcommittee is done.
right, and I guess I want to make sure I'm clear about, I guess the only reason we would need to meet again if we needed to was to propose those NCCER curricula. And I don't know if we're ready to do that yet, or if we want to wait for another.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So, remind me again what your recommendation as far as the NCCER.
Adding NCCR plumbing, pipe fitting, and electrical programs in its own rubric, in addition to the work we just did on non-NCCER courses. So colleges would have the option of both.
Okay. But
We need packets for each one of those, correct? We need a submission to put forward?
right.
Okay, and so we can work on that offline and email it and then give it to the
Okay, so
co-chairs to make that recommendation and submit it to the committee?
Okay.
Is that acceptable
Yeah.
practice?
Yeah. That's what I was. I guess.
Yeah,
Need to
because the electrical one is
Tie up.
basically done, needs some,
It needs a little bit
Needs
of
a little bit of tweak.
housekeeping and then
Okay.
we were going to compile similar ones for plumbing and pipe fitting and submit them all together.
Okay.
Is that acceptable practice?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so in that case, as you're saying, we really don't have any future agenda items or future need to meet. Again, unless we have some public comments that we need to address.
So what is the
So-
process? How are we gonna put the NCCER piece?
Much in the
So-
same way that we did the carpentry piece that or the
Electrical.
electrical piece that we showed yesterday.
Then,
We're just gonna levels, broken, so you're basically getting a level person per semester. So,
More or less.
let us,
And so it'll be crosswalked like
yeah, it'll
And that's what it
Marcia
really
is-
it is, it ends up being a
like this
crosswalk.
example.
it'll be,
So
it'll be
that-
that, but we're
Right.
gonna do one for pipe, one for plumbing.
and then the whole committee will have the ability to, this whole committee will have the ability to look and approve before we move forward with the submitting. So just if, unless you have something you want to throw out there.
No, so
I'm
someone's gonna
happy.
put it together and just send it to us.
Absolutely. Well, I'm happy to do, we're working on that right now. So I'm happy to do that and send it out to the whole group for review and comment. And then when we're finished with it, we can give it to Natalie and Troy to send forward.
Right.
And not to get out of our lane, the plumbing, pipe fitting and electrical, but NCCR also has carpentry and a number of other ones, and I'm like, hey, if we're on a roll,
And my hope is that future subcommittees recognize what this subcommittee did as it relates to that and take that same tack as other subcommittees convene in the construction related. It is, Jerome said yesterday, this was kind of unique for this group and others hadn't historically done that. But when you talk to the colleges and talk about the challenges of implementing NCCER as designed under the current WECM standards. So I think this committee kind of took that lead to fix that system for those schools that want to utilize it.
right?
And so hopefully as we move forward, other committees will recognize that there is that opportunity to, if the committee so chooses, bless the NCCER program and then move on to their individual programs of study and tighten them up as they see fit.
This was the first subcommittee under the architecture and construction cluster that dealt with the crafts. The first one was drafting and the architecture side.
In fact, this is just a feedback, Dwayne, on the level of urgency of putting this together.
Right.
You follow me?
Yeah.
In fact, quick story, just to go off track for just a moment. We were part of this group of 6 cities in the U.S. that are experiencing exponential growth. Nashville, Jacksonville, Charlotte, Austin, Houston, Corpus Christi. And so all of us all had the same problems, is we all have housing shortages.
Mm-hmm.
We all don't want more people coming because we don't have enough houses already. We don't have enough parking spaces or road space. And so the construction piece is huge right in the middle of all this. And the question is, we don't have enough construction workers already, and we can't even house them. We can't even build houses for them to live in because there's no houses, because they're not here. It's the chicken or the egg. Yeah, this whole construction thing is just bizarre that we're all working this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like a flashback of the oil field, except it's downtown.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Right.
So this is where I'm like, we got to get this done. We got to, if this is what we need to get everything rolling, plus there's a driver on the ISD side, because when we sell these programs to the ISDs and they're on the ISD list for NCCER, Jamie, it takes about 2 seconds for them to sell it and say, we're in, let's go.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Absolutely.
So the construction piece is huge, right in the middle of all that.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm like, NCCR construction, win. So, Dwayne, I'm looking at you saying, when can we put that group together as well?
So that's a good
Sure.
point. There is another subcommittee that hasn't met yet on carpentry, masonry,
Right.
and civil related crafts.
Yeah, a little
So-
history on that is, I guess we have about maybe two carpentry programs and their level 1 certificates across the state. And when we sent out the call for nominations to form that subcommittee, I think we got 2 nominations. And so, as much as important as that is, we're having trouble finding it on the educational side. So, we're still.
Can I tell you why that is? It's
And-
because everyone just goes to work. They don't have a degree or anything. They just pick up a
Right,
hammer and they
and-
get trained on the job. And the question is, we're trying to change that.
Yeah, a lot of
We're
colleges
gonna
will
change that
say,
whole mindset.
students will come in, declare, for a level 1 certificate, they'll take 2 courses and they're immediately hired out before they finish their degree.
So I think
And that comes out as a non-completer, basically.
Yeah,
Sure.
and
So-
so we're trying to develop, and I'll tell you, it's easy. Corpus, Houston, Waco is another one. Waco's got a huge program that they've
Right.
put together, and they build tiny houses.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
They build tiny houses, and between AGC and the ISDs and Chip and Joanne,
Yep.
it's just this whole huge momentum, and they just get them in, and they're not even slowing down for the education side. And this is where we're trying to sell the parents, saying the good Lord has a place for everybody.
Yeah.
Follow me?
Yeah.
You can get into construction. You guys are going to make good money, and blah blah blah. So,
Did this
Right.
committee want myself and Troy not just to make the recommendation for these areas, but to also recommend to the other subcommittees dealing with anything in craft? We strongly recommend you adopt an NCCER rubric for all those crafts,
for
no
all
matter
the
what you do.
Absolutely.
every NCCR craft that they have, and I think
As an
they have-
option,
Yes.
as an option.
And, it's possible we could, if we make that recommendation to the advisory committee, if we have enough expertise on the advisory committee, that they might just go ahead and run with that, if we can get the curriculum, if the curriculum's already,
And if you put that solicitation out again, if you let us know, we'll go and chase down people at Alamo Community College in Houston. We'll chase people down to say, I need you to be on this committee.
Sure.
Because you're right in the center of all this. And actually, it comes from all the trade associations between AGC and ABC
Yes.
and others.
Yes.
They're all screaming the same thing, so we can put those guys together.
okay.
Already, it's like the mechanic, he has no time to work on his own car because he's working on everyone else.
That's right.
But you know how that works, right?
We have a comment from Tony.
If there's an opportunity, I would love to serve on it.
Very good.
Okay, we'll put out that
Wonderful.
request. Okay, so again, we'll make those recommendations to the advisory committee, and then we'll send out, or,
Excellent.
right.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. Well done. And so I'll keep you posted on how it works its way through the advisory committee, and we'll see what the comments are. Unless there's any other discussion, I'll call us adjourned. We're adjourned.
Okay.
I'm sure glad we canceled lunch.
Nailed it, guys.